What is this?
Popcorn, Mr. Scoffer, sir. I figured out we need some popcorn today, since you're doing a popcorn movie review.
Popcorn, Mr. Floppy Nuff, is for commoners that have turned the process of watching a movie into a social activity with their so-called friends. These people allow themselves to laugh, communicate, and eat while they watch the movie, even if they watch it in a public place like cinema. They don't even care whether the movie is qualitative or disgusting, because they use it as an excuse to be surrounded by company. Do I look like that kind of person to you?
No, of course not, sir.
No popcorn in my studio then. Ever. Greetings. My name is Alcott Scoffer, and I denounce Hollywood movies as if they weren't quite a pitiful sight already. I recall promising you to denounce Venom, so here I am, about to dissect this friendship between alien and human based on their common lousiness, story piece by piece.
Do you really consider Venom a worthy target, though, Mr. Scoffer, sir? Even some of your colleagues dismissed many of its flaws, saying that the audience shouldn't have expected too much from a simple popcorn movie. Not to mention comic book fans.
Please. I never expect much from any Hollywood movie. Not even comic book movies, but Venom really hit rock bottom.
Well, I guess you could say that there are some holes in the plot.
Some holes? There are more holes in the plot of this movie than there are symbiotes on Venom's home planet. Speaking of which, we know nothing of Venom's race except for the pathetic scraps of information we got. Come on. You name the movie after the character, and the only background you give the audience is the fact that his kind is a race of warriors, and that back on his planet, Venom used to be a loser like Eddie Brock, who he chooses as a carrier. Oh wow, how nice.
Maybe the creators of the movie were aiming for comic book fans as their target audience? And also thought that those who knew nothing about Venom from comic books got enough basic information to understand the major events of the movie?
The absence of a proper background is not the only plot problem. There are plenty of irrationalities. How come the loose symbiote named Riot never attracted the attention of local media during his trip from Malaysia to US? With all the public murders it committed and body transformations it performed? Even if media and social media somehow developed a sudden blindness, what the hell was Life Foundation CEO Carlton Drake doing for the 6 months it took Riot to get to his organization?
Maybe Drake was busy with his experiments on humans with the available symbiotes? After all, he is a villain. Many people dying probably does not really bother him.
He seemed to be very concerned about the alien specimens he obtained. But somehow the loose one didn't interest him too much to track it. Dead or alive, Drake was supposed to be a passionate scientist, and the 0 attempts to track the symbiote just don't sound like him. It looked like almost every character got a brain parasite at a certain point in the movie. That scientist you spoke of, Dora Skirth, she knew of Brock's methods. Why didn't she just send him photos of the human experiments? Eddie Brock gets invited to the corporation that ruins his life and trashes every single item in a laboratory, where he was asked not to touch anything. His girlfriend, Anne Weighing, knows Brock's views on her employer and doesn't make sure that he doesn't get any information from her. I won't even start on Carlton Drake with his typical villain speeches and views on progress. Or Riot, who traveled for 6 months only to possess a weakling.
But Anne's new boyfriend, Dan, was a really nice guy. Right? Right?
Well, I must admit he was the only character that didn't annoy me throughout the movie.
Whee!
A single rational character doesn't make the whole movie any less chaotic. The inconsistencies are still there. For example, we never get an explanation, or what's more important, a proper visualization of how Venom grew to like Eddie and the world enough to decide not to leave or destroy it. He seemed pretty predatory in the beginning, and then he grows all soft-hearted towards the end. Why?
Due to the power of friendship, I guess? Also, Venom said that he realized that he and Eddie had many things in common.
I'm sincerely happy for Venom. Couldn't the audience also enjoy the luxury of such a realization? Why are Venom's words the only proof we get when it comes to Eddie's and Venom's similarity? Why wasn't the development of their relationship and their similarity shown on screen?
Point taken, but there is still some pretty good humor in the movie. I mean, I laughed throughout the whole thing.
Oh, I just might agree with you on that one. Venom does have a few decent jokes.
Really? You agree with me on that?
Yes, my dear fluffy friend. I laughed out loud when they showed Brock's apartment in San Francisco 6 months after he lost his job. Considering the prices, he must have saved up a lot to get a place that big and not be living on the street instead.
With all due respect, sir, I think you're being a little bit harsh on Venom. After all, not all movies are created to be a work of art. Some of them are there just for fun, to entertain people, you know? And Venom is entertaining, despite all the flaws you named. It makes people laugh, it keeps them thrilled, it has bright characters. And Tom Hardy did a good job on portraying both Eddie Brock and Venom. The movie is pretty decent for its budget, so maybe it fulfills its purpose? Especially considering there's going to be a trilogy?
Maybe Venom did fulfill its purpose, as you say. But someone here definitely does not fulfill his purpose. Care to guess who that is?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scoffer, sir. I tried so hard not to get involved with the review.
The studio isn't going to clean itself, Mr. Fullyfluff.
Oh, never mind. I'm right on my way to clean everything, sir.
Good. The fact that Venom gets a trilogy doesn't get it any less denounced. It only shows how low the standards of the industry are, considering that I choose smart people as my target audience. I bet you understand it.